All right, everybody, welcome to the Studying Brew, episode 1232 on this beautiful Tuesday evening. It is the first of the free of the week as we get this week started, as we get the second week of the month going. I know it's already the second month of our second week of March. We already had the daylight savings time throwing everybody off because everybody feels like they lost an hour, but you really didn't lose an hour. You gained an hour. It's just on the other end of the blanket, as they say. All right, everybody. My name is Andy. I am the guy that runs the back office over here at KonaButterflyz. But you're not here for me. You're here for Brandy. She's got her Series 6, 63, 26, 65, and her Series 7, which will help you pass these exams and get this thing done. Tonight, it is techniques night. It is the night we show you how to get those answers without necessarily knowing anything. It doesn't matter, whatever multiple choice exam. Some of these exams have a loophole in it, and we're showing you how to exploit it. It's going to help you out on the real exam. Look, the one thing I want to make sure that we get this out there and on these test taking technique nights, we're not saying that you don't need to know content. We're not saying that you don't need to study. We're not saying that you don't need to know some stuff. What we're saying is you don't need to know as much stuff. What we're saying is you can get some answers with sometimes with not even knowing anything. And sometimes you can get a dang good guess that could put you over the top and give you that edge that you've been looking for, needing, wanting, and required to get yourself a pass notice. Because in the end, folks, it doesn't matter how you got the answer. It doesn't matter how you got there. It just matters that you got there. That's it. It doesn't, there's so much all the time. For some people, this is the biggest struggle. I know there's some people that are like me who don't care. But there's these people, this grouping of people that care a lot about how you got there. I must know everything. I must know this information. In fact, I was just talking to someone today. They went to one of the boot camps. They were really struggling with the fact that scores have not gone up. They were like, I was feeling like I would know everything after doing, and 2 days of like content. Guys, this is why we don't like to do boot camps. This is exactly why, because it gives off the impression that you're going to understand everything in 2 days going over all the content. The main thing about a boot camp or like what we did is we're trying to just get through the information, and we try to leave a solid message that you still have to go back and quiz, and you still have to go back and find out why you get it wrong, and you still got to practice those techniques, and you still got to plug in for a solid 2 to 3 weeks, but at least you got through the content. At least you have a foundation to stand on when you do those 2 days of information. And sometimes that's the hardest part for a lot of people, is just even getting through the information one time through the ear holes, or one time through the eye holes. However you ingest this information, right? That is probably the hardest part for some people. And that's what those boot camps should be seen as, just a nice foundation to get through it. Or it's a capstone to everything that you've been learning for the last 3 weeks, and you're just using it as like, you know what? I'm going to take some time to hear this information and just cap it all off and then go about getting this thing done. Because when we do these techniques, I'm going to tell you guys, if you're struggling to get like a 10% raise or a 5%, these techniques will literally help you give that bump that you've been looking for to get that pass notice. And that's sometimes all you need. You struggling with that 68% on a pass notice for the SIE, and you need a 70, this is what you need. You need that 72 because you're taking the 63, right? 72%? If you need that percentage because you need to get that, get that bump so that way you can get that pass notice, or is it the 6 that has a 70 on the 6? 70 on the 6, right? 68 on the SIE or the 6. You need that bump. You need to get the 70. If you need to get those 92 right and you've been getting 89 right on the 65, this is going to help you. Literally met with two people want to try to do the Kona way, but they struggle with the way we were telling them, look at the answers first, but they're going to do it their way anyway. And they're like, Andy, Brandy, what do I do? How do I get that 92 when I have an 89? Look, this is the way. I feel like Mandalorian right now. This is the way. This is the way we're trying to show you. This is the way we want you to help you guys get over that. This is what we want to do to help you get there. But I don't understand it that way. Guys, this is the way that we figured it out. That's a cheat code almost. This is where we found out a way to crack through the system. This is where we're taking advantage of any little loophole, even the exam writing. It's a complete system. It's a complete program. And on these frees, we just give you a taste, a morsel, a little truffle, if you will, on how to get that done for free. and you can get those on YouTube, Patreon, and all that. But if you want to know a system that doesn't just necessarily just if you want a system that teaches you how to go from the SIE all the way through to the 65 or 5 exams or whatever exam that's a multiple choice, even in your chemistry, guys, I'm telling you, this is a nice system to help you reshape your brain, restructure your brain and the way you look at it, so that way you can start getting answers easier. It'll help you stop reading questions over and over and over and over and reading the answers over and over. If you are struggling with the time on the clock because you keep running out, you need to learn a system. This isn't just content throwdown. This is a system that we're trying to teach you guys, and not only how to get through the information, make the connections with content, and then also make those connections with the techniques and showing you how to get to the answer without even knowing anything. I know I fool around a lot on these nights with the Tuesdays, and I answer stuff and I go, well, I'm just showing you without content. And sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes Brandy gives me that mom stare. Like I just said something in church that was inappropriate. But you know what? I'm willing to say it because sometimes that's how we learn, right? That's how we understand that, like, sometimes we can look at it that way. It might be wrong, but then a lot of times I'm right. A lot of times I get the answer right because I'm just following the techniques. I'm not looking at the content. When I'm wrong, that's where the content comes in. That's where Brandy steps in. That's where she shows you, okay, you need to know a little bit of something on this particular one. Guys, that's what we're trying to show you. Check out our membership. We got great options. We have not rose with inflation. Probably not a smart business idea, but we have had the same prices out there. I feel like Costco at this point with the hot dog. Uh, Course videos, live member sessions, small group tutoring, one-on-one tutoring. We got daily accountability. We have all kinds of different options. The more involved Brandy is, the more it is. The less we are involved, the less we give you, the less it costs. It's just that simple. And I'll tell you this, after going out today and the other day, it's cheaper than going to get a meal for two people at any place at this point, right? It is so easy to go spend money on things that necessarily go right down the toilet, but this is going to help you guys out. Even if you use us part-time and you want to use another one, that's fine. But I'm just going to tell you, this is the only one you need. It's the system, and it ain't that expensive. Check it out. We have these study programs, books for sale, Kona community. Contact us at 951-290-3777. Scan the QR code, hit the links. All right, tomorrow, just a reminder, we do not have any live sessions. It is Wednesday. We don't have live sessions, but Brandy's throwing the graphic up for Thursday. We are back Thursday with all the sessions. Thursday, we have the member sessions that are Brandy's kind of partially have there with the 65, and then we have the small group tutoring later that day. So be on for Thursday, and then we have the studying brew. If you're not following us on Instagram, I'll tell you what, I wish you would, because when they give me a picture and they let me know, guess what, everybody? We add another one to the Kona Hall of Fame because we got a passer. Congratulations to Jimmy Carlon. He's got his second pass notice, got the Series 63, already passed the SIE, got the 63 done. He hasn't, he didn't pass the 6. Long story on how he got to the 6 with, anyways. Didn't pass the 6. He's on his little, I think he's got one more month to wait, and then he can go take the 6 again. But got the 63 done. It's under wraps. We had a long conversation what it meant when I said the 63 is a wrap. He thought the whole thing was, I was saying the whole thing was a wrap, and he's like, no, I mean, like, still have to take the 6. It was a whole thing. Guys, the main storyline here, 63 done, pass notice, one more to go. I'm going to bring up my notes on what Jimmy said, on what helped him pass. Um, Here we go. Anything you want to say about Jimmy?
He's a ninja studier, so I only see him when we go to the office.
Well, what he said is, first of all, thank you guys so much for putting your time and effort into other people, not just helping us pass and study, giving us test taking techniques, but also making us feel a part of a community where PMA is always talked about and everyone shares the same goal. It makes you work harder, be grateful, and believe you can pass. With God in front of you, you can pass this. I played a lot and always remember, I prayed a lot. Sorry. I prayed a lot and always remembered who I'm doing it for. Read answers first. That's it. That's all he said. End of story. You guys, there you go. Perfectly said. Everything that we encompass with Kona, a community. He doesn't necessarily ask for a lot of help, but he's in the community. He does reach out. He does know that there's a place where he can go, like on these nights, to go tune in with people that are on the same goal. And yes, positive mental attitude is always the thing that we like to put out there. Guys, if anything and anything I could say, if there was any little thing I could say to you to point out to your past notice, is you got to have a positive mental attitude first and foremost before you even crack the notebook, before you even open up the book, content, anything. You got to have a positive mental attitude, because if you don't have a positive outlook about this, you're probably not going to finish it. Working against negativity is just going to have a negative effect. Working with positivity is going to have a positive effect. It's just simple. It's just a simple message. It's just a simple thing. So congratulations, Jimmy. We got to get that one more to go. I think it was like a month ago he passed the SIE. So not a lot of time in between. Learned his lesson the last time. Got the 63 done. So congratulations, Jimmy, on getting this done. All right, you ready, Brandy?
Oh, yep.
Because it's not about just Jimmy, it's about you. Let's get these test taking techniques done. Tonight, Brandy's going to put up 6 different questions. We're going to go through it. And just like I said earlier in the beginning, pay attention to how Brandy breaks this down. Answers first, just like Jimmy said, helps you get through the questions. This is a strategy in which you want to adopt, you want to have, and the way Brandy attacks these questions. Every single time she opens up a quiz, every single time, Brandy, do you attack it the exact same way?
Yes, with varying degrees of how much, but yes, same steps.
It's almost a step by step on the checklist. If you want to know more about that, we had a test lab today. It went over it in perfect in a perfect examples of how you do that and just how Brandy takes that apart. It is available on Patreon. You don't need to be a member. You can buy that episode. It's $20 if you don't want to be a member. But if you are a member, check your email. That went out, guys, step by step. So tonight we're not going to go through every single step of how we do this, but we're going to give you the gist of it. So if we fly through these 6 questions and you want to know more, check us out, scan the QR code, get in on it. Get in on it. If you don't want to have the whole thing, go buy the episode. You can go get that download over there on Patreon. All right, ready to go?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right. So I have employees with fewer years left to work, younger employees, all benefit the same, and older employees. So the first thing, obviously, that I'm going to notice is that these two are opposite, right? You got one younger, one older. The other thing that I'm just going to take a side note about is employees with fewer years left to work sound older. So this one and this one is the same. It's not similar. It's literally saying the same exact thing.
It's the same thing with the different words.
So I can't pick one of those.
Common sense.
So
right?
I'm going to cross those off. Yep.
Because if you say one, then it has to be the other, and you can't have 2 answers.
Exactly. So that is our answer. And we didn't even see the question.
Didn't even see the question. Didn't need to.
And if you guys were in our SIE live today, you guys knew that this was the answer. Content B.
And it makes perfect sense if you were going to do content tonight, but we're not. We're going to the next one.
Yeah. All right. So check this out. So 1933, 1939, nothing, 1934.
So if I was going to guess, and I don't remember any of these because I wasn't good at history and remembering dates, which is a lie, but C, I would mark C. It would be as good a guess as any. And it's the answer. That is a pure technique answer, purely based on the fact there's no numbers.
Yep.
Just get the win, buddy. If you're going to guess anyway, why not? If you don't remember any of that and you're like, oh, I'm just going to pick whatever, pick C.
Yep. Pick C. I'm going to do something real quick.
By the way, shout out to Brandy Evans. She left us a great, I probably need to put it up on Instagram. Nice little note today I sent to us that she was like using this off the Studying Brew, increased her scores immensely just by going through these techniques on the exam where she didn't know anything.
And passed whatever test she was taking.
There you go.
Wasn't securities test.
That's it.
Using these.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have at least twice a day, constantly throughout the business day, at least once per day, once business day, once. Anyways, I saw this and I saw this and I saw that, and then I kind of saw that. So if you guys look at this, these two are similar because they're basically saying the same thing, just one saying
At least.
business day.
Right.
And then these two are saying business day. So
So C is a double dip.
yes. And also think about this really quickly. This is
So,
not content based.
so I know we get the double dip question all the time. So what a double dip is, do you see that C has a connection with D and then B has a connection with C, not connected by content,
No,
connected by the phrasing in the sentence?
two similars in
So
one.
when we say similar or we say things like that, that's what we're talking about.
Right. Yeah. Go back up to here. Employees with fewer years left to work and older employees is saying the same thing differently. So that's same. This is literally saying the same thing. I mean, it's the same. This has the same words. Okay, anyways. Yes? Yes. I was gonna say something, but I forgot. So let's go. Boop. That's the answer.
Oh, you're going to give some sort of content, but you said it wasn't content.
Oh, I was gonna say this. In most things you do professionally, with the exception of retail, it's usually on business days, Monday through Friday, excluding holidays.
Right, because the other one would be on your personal time. And when does that happen usually?
Right.
When
So
you're talking business.
right. So usually kind of think about things mostly happening on business days.
Does it make sense? If I'm on Sunday, it doesn't necessarily mean that this is probably going to work.
Yeah. Plus we don't work on Sundays.
No.
The markets don't work on Sundays.
Well, we have a day for Jesus.
And then so this one's kind of like that same thing. We start off with placement and then we end with no, that's not the one I want to do. And then we end with integration. So same concept. Two like these were almost back to back answers. I mean questions when I pulled these questions. And so two highlights.
Again, connections with B and D and A and B is a double dip. That's what we mean. So B is the answer.
The double dip. Boom, 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 boom.
And in case you're wondering, that is money laundering.
That is money laundering. First you gotta place it, then you gotta layer it, and then it's integrated. Boom.
What is the most detectable?
Placement. Boom. Okay. This one I had to look at words because I'm looking at this. Oh, wait. Well, I guess I can say like accepting and accepting and then
Being and being.
and then yeah, and then being and being. Okay. I guess I can say that. But that when you guys see this, this technique doesn't usually work because of that.
Right. And there's not like the last two where there was like a similar and situation where like
Yeah.
there was connections between different answers. It's not there.
Right. So then I had to do something else. I had to actually look at words. So I went into the question and it says this associated with a carrying firm, except, and I said, being a fully disclosed firm.
Can
And
I
go ahead.
can I make a connection?
Hmm.
I was going to answer B because B was the only one it didn't have customer in it.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense too. And B is the only one mentioning firm. I didn't even notice that when I looked at this question.
I was going to say it, but I didn't want to interrupt you. But yeah, so B was the only one it had nothing to do with the customer and everything to do with the firm, which is what the answer was asking for. I mean, the question was asking for. That's not content, by the way. For me, that's not content. That's just looking at.
It's just words.
That's like it's like kindergarten where they give you those two pictures and they say what's different with that other one where it looks the same and then you just look, oh look, there's a monkey on that lady's head and not on that one.
Right. And then are associated with being a caring firm.
Oh look, the dog has
being
shorts on in this picture and doesn't have it on the other.
different. Yep.
Highlights. Shout out to all the folks on here that
I think it's on
read highlights in the doctor's offices when they were kids.
See if highlights is available as an app. All right. Business risk, systematic risk, seismic risk. Are we having earthquakes here?
Ooh. So I would almost mark C just based on the fact that seismic risk is not a thing in securities, and that's what I'm studying.
Sure.
If I didn't look at the question,
Right.
if we were doing that.
Right. Not.
But if I was on the exam, I'm looking at the dang question.
Oh yeah. So I told somebody today that I studied with, I said, hey, if you look at your answer choices and then you read the question, actually, he's still very much, a question reader first. It's hard to break some people, but he'll read the question and then he'll see A and he'll be like, "That's the answer." And I caught him 2 times where he was wrong.
I heard you on your one-on-ones that are available to anybody. Scan the QR code, hit the link. If you want to get in on a one-on-one session where Brandy keeps score and points out the fact that you could have had it right 3 times, but you didn't.
Yeah, and I said, "Do me a favor. Next time you think the answer's A, at least glance at the other three because it, D might be a better choice." 2 times it was. So, anyways, so I looked at this, right? Look at, and we are talking about California.
Los Nachos, by the way.
We all get earthquakes in California. Okay, but I looked at the end, right? Because, right, it's the threatening the city's ability to make its next interest payment. That is not business. That's
No.
not system. That's definitely not earthquakes.
Definitely defaults.
That's it.
Default is debt. Default is not making that credit, not making that loan payment. That is a risk.
And how did we get seismic risk out of this? I don't even know.
So, yeah. So, like when we associate interest payments, usually that's to credit cards, right?
Yeah.
Or any kind of debt.
Mm-hmm.
So, default can make the connection.
Yeah. And that was it.
There you go. So, the probability of a negative consequence resulting from earthquakes, true. But I will say this, even though you're probably just messing around and joking about that seismic risk, uh, guys, that's a classic example of overthinking it. I know this person was just making a fun, but sometimes
That's an insurance risk.
true, but also that is overthinking risk. You got to make sure you keep it corralled. Keep it corralled. Keep those what ifs, those buts, those all those things that you go, but you got to keep it corralled. Got to keep it corralled because that is the difference between a pass and a not so pass, right? You want to be like Jimmy sitting on Pass Street, holding up that picture of you holding up that pass notice. Congratulations to Jimmy one more time, getting that 63 done, 6 in the works. And to everybody else, go practice this. Go get yourself a quiz. Go practice looking at this stuff. Use some common sense, use some techniques, and realize it doesn't have to be that hard. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know all the content. Sometimes the answers are just right there, and you just got to notice it. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. Just go with it. All right, everybody. We'll see you on Thursday. Thursday, we got member sessions. We got the Studying Brew. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, everybody, have a great night. Be safe out there. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't touch your friend's face. That's all I know. And keep that positive mental attitude. PMA, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you all so much for being on. We so super appreciate you. Practice these techniques while you quiz. We will see you guys next time. Have a great one.